France, Russia, Azerbaijan, Great Britain, Finland, Ukraine and Russia, all involved. And for us, of course, our eyes will be very much on Zoe Smith, who, like pretty well all of the lifters, has been working privately at home. This is Ina Andersen from Nasdal in Norway, personal coach, coming back from Dubai last summer to focus on her preparation for hopefully the Olympic Games. Dora Chakonte, 7th at the last European Championships. This is Kozlova, who was the bronze medalist 2 years ago, and Boyanka Kostova, very much a favorite for today. Originally competed for Bulgaria, but 10 years ago started her career with Azerbaijan. Zoe Smith for Great Britain, Commonwealth Games champion in 2014. And here, this is Sara Retulainen. You might remember her more as Leskinen until she got married. She's coming down a weight category. And this woman is doing it the other way, moving up from 55 kilos. And Olga Tay for Russia. Now, she was 15th in the World Championships 3 years ago. But to be honest, for us, she's a little bit of an unknown quantity. Well, once again, very good afternoon. I'm David Goldstrom together with Michaela Breeze. Michaela, it's a fascinating contest. And once again, it's a very tight affair with a really tight spread of only 7 kilos amongst the contestants.
It is, yes. We'll mention those weights in 2 seconds, but while we take a quick look at Irina Martinez from Spain. She was the best lifter from the B group, which went earlier today. 90 snatch. This is it on the opening lift. Failed 92, second and third attempts. Well, that's the current lead in the snatch competitions. That's the weight that the A group lifters are going to need to surpass to go ahead. The results from the B group obviously stand in the A group. And the lead on the clean and jerk is from
Iceland.
This young lady from Iceland, 108 to 100, 104, 108. Helga Dottir.
Helga Dottir.
Thank you so much.
Helga Dottir. This was pretty good.
Some of these names are fun. Yeah.
This was the third clean and jerk, and she did this well.
3 from 3 on this, 100, 104, 108. Finishes with 191 in the total. It's the Spanish girl Martinez with 193 that is in the lead.
Yeah, this was 5 out of 6 for Toreador. As you rightly said, she totaled up 191, but the best total overall, 193 from Irina Martinez in respect of the overall championship. Really good, though, to see lifters from Iceland who've not been featuring for a while, so very encouraging. And they may still feature amongst the A finalists, although they shouldn't. So here are the opening weights as announced. They may well change, but there they are for you. And you can see they're all pretty tightly packed there. And just to give you a bit of a fun idea about what they're lifting in the first phase, well, I'll come to that in a moment as you see the standard weights there. Rebecca Kohar from Latvia, sadly not with us, but there you can see she's been the outstanding star in this particular weight category, and most of those records were set at the World Championships in 2019 in Turkmenistan. Sara Retulainen in picture there. Now, I was going to tell you what, just for fun, the sort of equivalent of the weights that the women are going to be picking up in the first phase. Well, something like 87 to 90 kilos, and then the clean and jerk, they'll be over 100. So think of a giant panda, a reindeer, or even a Rocky Mountain goat or a warthog, something of that weight.
You've got way too much time on your hands, David. Let's give these girls some respect here. 87 plus. I think we're going to be looking at fairly close to 100. I'll be pretty impressed if we see 100 overhead in the snatch phase, but these lifts are super, super close. As we see the technical officials desk, this is where all the coaches can change the weights, and they're allowed to do that twice for each weight nomination. So first attempt, they can change it twice. When it goes to a second attempt, they then have 2 opportunities to change again.
So Ina Andersen onto the stage from Norway. She lives up very close to Førde, which hosted the 2016 European Championships. And maybe a little rush there for that first attempt. Now, as she comes off the stage, just a second, as she was going off the stage, well, I'll leave it to you for the second, Mikhaila.
Yeah, I mean, we talked yesterday about the issues with this competition. There's no audience, there's no atmosphere once the lifters step onto the stage. They have to create their own adrenaline. And for a lot of these lifters, as we've said, they've been off the competition platform for a very long time. In excess of a year, for the British lifters, closer to 18 months. So this is a big platform to come back onto. And with Olympic qualification at stake, you know, there's a lot of nerves, there's a lot of anxiety for all of the lifters. Everybody here wants to perform well.
Now, see the little man there in red, 80 years of age, Zygmunt Schmalcerz from Poland, Olympic champion at 52 kilos in 1972. He's 80 years of age. He was brought to Norway to coach by Sten Grimseth, the president of the Norwegian Weightlifting Association, a couple of years ago. He is an absolutely remarkable character. And that is so much better by Ina.
Much improved. Second attempt there, no hesitation, no technical issues. That was absolutely spot on. Just a wasted first attempt, which is a little disappointing. Yes, the gentleman you just referred to, David, did he not coach the US team as well?
Yes, he did. He's traveled the world. He coached Poland up to about the Beijing Olympics. Then he went to the United States, so out of Colorado. And now he's in Norway, enjoying life. He really is, yeah, he's encyclopedic in his knowledge, and he's a legend in his own lifetime. But now on to the woman who got a bronze medal last year, 96 kilos in the snatch. That was 2 years ago, I should say. And Alexandra Kozlova with a solid start. But it is 87 kilos, so that's a measure of comparison.
I would say right now these are fairly modest weights for this category. Yeah, if we're looking at top level, 87 kilos, they're okay. I'd expect the Russians to be doing more, but hey ho, let's hope we have a clean Russian team.
And Zoe Smith, well, her advantage, or disadvantage I should really say, is the fact that she's been confined to training in a garage. And I would suspect, because I know one or two things about the Russian women, they've had training camps, and that's a very different situation. So Zoe, first attempt, 87 kilos, good luck.
No lift. I fear that is going to be overruled. Come on, Zoe, give us a big smile and hope for the best. Oh, she's been given it. So, no, we're not biased at all in our commentary right now. I know we're supposed to stay unbiased, but definite press out in her right arm. She was lucky to get this. We'll take it if she's given it.
Well, she's been given it 2-1 unless the jury overrule. Anastasia Kozlowskaya was the central referee who decided it wasn't a good lift and matched up with your assessment, but Zoe will take it, and 87.
She'll take it for sure.
So
nervous start for Zoe.
Retulainen out for her second attempt. 7th, up at 63 kilos at the 2018 championships, but has come down. And for Retulainen, not a bad effort for her to get underway with 87 as well. Retulainen, who's got a personal best of 88. Boyanka Kostova of Azerbaijan, I've got her as a personal best of 101. So she is very much the favorite in the first part of the competition, and also the second part. She's got a very strong clean and jerk. But then, Michaela, so has Zoe Smith. That's her forte, the clean and jerk.
It certainly is. Right now, she'll just be looking for every single kilo. I had a chat with her via Instagram a couple of nights ago, and she said, you know, look, I've been training in my garage, and we all know Zoe's had a few niggles, a few injuries over the years, and training in a cold garage, particularly over the winter, is not great for the joints. So she's done well to get her head down, and more importantly, to keep the body weight down.
So Ina, second attempt, and this is another good effort from her. A good effort in the sense that she's got the 86 kilos and she's got the 88 kilos. So just looking at her stats, she's right where I would expect her to be, but Steen Grumseth put me right, and he said he's looking for big things from her in the clean and jerk. She's got a personal best of 115, which she set last October in an Lyco competition, which was very strictly controlled in Norway. But back to the presents, we'll see Ina later. And this is Maria Hanhor representing the Ukraine, opening up on 89 kilos. Well, on a competition stage, that's a new personal best at this weight category. She's moved up from 55 kilos, and that 89 kilo effort putting her up.
Yeah, it certainly is. Bit rushed coming onto the platform. I don't think our camera crew were quite ready for that. It'd be nice to see the whole lift from the front.
Yeah, just to emphasize that Irene Martinez of Spain, she collected 90 kilos in the snatch phase, so she's actually still leading the competition. Hanhura only going into second place. And Zoe just taking the 2 kilos.
Well, David, looking a little despondent here. Isn't fired up as we have seen him in the past. I think Dave Sawyer is probably going to stick a rocket where the sun doesn't shine and wake those legs up. Come on, Zoe. You need more explosion through the middle. A weight she's very, very capable of. Technically looking very good.
Yeah, this is pretty important, actually. I mean, the one thing is that Zoe is very close to getting a qualification place to the Tokyo Olympics. So this competition can really count. The British coaches, well, there's 3 of them there. David Sawyer, Andy Callard, Stuart Martin. They're all out. There's almost as many coaches as there are lifters for Great Britain. And they haven't found it easy, have they, getting to Russia?
No, up until just 10 days ago, they didn't know whether they were going to have to quarantine. But they're here. We now need to see the actions speaking louder than the words. Come on, Zoe.
Yeah, this is a must-make. That's better.
Yes, Zoe, that's what we want to see. And the smile of relief, I think, there. That's a great recovery, having missed the second attempt, but 89 is on the board. That's what she'll carry through to the second half of the competition. She's been working hard during lockdown, and it's great to see her executing on the platform. Throws the shoulders back a little. That's compensated in the bar swinging and a small step forwards, but no bother stabilizing.
Yeah, she's right up there in terms of the opening attempts for the clean and jerk, and she's going to have to really make that count, because kilos equal places, places equal points in terms of qualifying for Tokyo. Nobody's quite sure of exactly what the amended rules are for qualification to Tokyo. It's a very bizarre situation that the International Weightlifting Federation have had months and months and months to sort this out. Loads of people have been saying, for goodness sake, make your mind up. Tell us what the qualification adjustments are, whether we have to lift, whether we don't have to lift, how many lifts we've got to go for, how many competitions we've got to be in, what's the value of each competition, all sorts of questions.
Slow down, slow down.
And
so much, you're quite right.
Oh, yeah, and we're all working in the dark, like mushrooms in a dark room.
It's crazy, isn't it? This close to an Olympic Games. We're at the final qualification competition, and yet we don't know what final qualification is.
Yeah. Well,
when I spoke to Zoe, all she said was she was going to give it her best.
Yeah, but I felt I had to make the point because it's not the way things should happen. You know, plenty of other sports have sorted out their amended qualifications for Tokyo. Why not weightlifting? So, Sara Retulainen, Finland. Nicely done. Up to 90 kilos for her. And that 90-kilo effort puts her on the same weight as Irene Martinez of Spain. But as all of you know the rules, the situation is that whoever gets to a particular weight first gets the higher ranking position. Nonetheless, for Retulainen, a personal best. There's the delight. You can't help feeling, Michaela, that we've seen the appetizers, but the main course is still to come.
We've certainly got some lifters yet to start the competition. It's going to be very close for the medals from here on.
4-kilo increase here for Alexandra Kozlova. And that's more like it. The first one, maybe they wanted to be just a little conservative, just to make sure they got one on the board, but this makes much more competitive. Takes the overall lead in this 59-kilo women's competition.
It certainly does. She really maintains great position off the floor all the way through to mid-thigh. Small swing of the shoulders back, which causes the jump back. That's a really solid second attempt from the Russian. Kozlova, one attempt to go. How much further can she push herself? I suspect she's probably going to be looking around 94 for a third attempt.
She's the younger of the two Russians by a couple of years. They're both in their early 20s, really. And just what about that for a starter?
I think it's absolutely solid, no problems whatsoever. She came out, she executed, caught the weight very, very high. Let's take a look here. Position off the floor, bar swings around the knees slightly. Ideally, as you push with the legs, the bar should come backwards with the knees, but here the bar goes around, jumps into the lift to compensate. Absolutely smashing that first attempt. Boyanka Kostova coming onto the platform now. First attempt at 92, representing Azerbaijan.
Yeah, pretty experienced. And really forceful.
I think she's pretty comfortable there on that 92. I'm sure you've got a best weight written down, but seems to be way below best here. And there's a lot more to come, a lot more potential.
101,
10% down on her best. That's considerable. I wonder why that is.
Retalainen, so far, so good. 2 good attempts, 87, 90, a new personal best, now 92 kilos. Well, that was new territory for her.
It was, swung the bar out the back door. It didn't even slow down overhead. She's a lifter that's strong enough for these weights, but it has to be more technically precise. Ideally, the side angle is what we want to give a good technical analysis, but sits back on the bar by the looks of it as it passes her knees. Sit back with the shoulders, the hips go forward to compensate, and guess where the bar goes?
So just at the moment, Dora Chakunti of France in the lead on 92 kilos, the same weight for Bianca Kostova, Alexandra Koslova, 91 kilos, and this is Maria Hanhur looking for the lead for the Ukraine, and not to be.
Brushed it. Yeah, just did not seem to set herself. I get it that not every lifter likes to take their time and set themselves. Some lifters like to go hands on the bar and just go for it, but that's all very well unless you are out of position. Let's take a look here. She's straight down and going. She's barely even hesitated in that start position. Her head is still coming back. Momentum is likely to take it back.
Before today, 13 countries have collected medals at these European Championships. 36 countries represented. That's a pretty healthy start after just the first couple of days. Oh, couldn't hold on to it.
Off balance underneath the bar, and that is going to be a very costly attempt from Alexandra Koslova. 93 would have been a weight to keep her in contention for the medals and in contention for the overall, but she was well on her toes.
What is it about everybody in this world who doesn't understand how to wear a face mask? It's supposed to cover the nose as well as the mouth.
I think it's just disrespectful to other competitors, David. If they're in this kind of situation, right, if they don't care about themselves, what about other people? And I really do think it needs to be tightened up, especially if they're here being shown on television. This isn't acceptable.
No, this is Hanhura. Again, this is her last chance, but it is a chance to go into the overall lead. Noticeable. Well, it hasn't happened. I was going to say noticeable that Olga Tay of Russia, who I suggested when we introduced the athletes was a bit of an unknown quantity, and clearly, having posted 95 kilos as her opener, I'm expecting something rather good.
But look here, the lift, although it was fast, it was still one speed. There was no acceleration to get the bar floating higher.
So Olga, top 15 in the world, but that was 3 years ago. 95 kilos for her opening attempt. And she's going to zoom into first place.
It was a very confident opening lift, technically very precise, composed. You can see the focus in her now. She's not distracted by anything else going on. Take a look. Drops the chest a little as she comes off the floor. Look how straight she's sitting underneath the bar. Very, very confident in her ability, and that was a solid opener. I think she's going to be pushing for the 100-kilo mark.
Yeah, really good athleticism, and now Dora Chakunte for France in her own particular world, going from 92 to 95 kilos for Dora. And 95 would put her on her competition platform best.
I think that's suspect. Right elbow, as we saw with Zoe Smith earlier. I'm not sure the referee's going to give that. Oh, I wouldn't have given that. Oh, 3 whites as well. Come on.
Bogdan Mokranowski announces that it is a good lift, so she goes up into second place. But we can't tell from this angle.
No, this angle is good for technical analysis, and technically it was very good. But watch her. Come on, guys on the cameras. Give us the view we need. Definite press out on that right arm. I stand by it.
So, Bojanka Kostova. Kostova, 27 years of age, world champion in 2015 at the 58-kilo category. She's got a host of medal achievements to credit. Left Bulgaria to go to Azerbaijan because she couldn't get the coaching and support that she wanted and needed. And Kostova gets her 95 kilos as well. But as I said, it's the lifter who gets there first, and that was Olga Tay. So we're now in a classic little situation here. 3 lifters alive.
I think she's got a decent snatch here. She's got a 105 down to start. And just to give you perspective, we'll look at this in a minute, but there's a lot of lifters around the 105, 110 starters on the clean and jerks. It's still going to be very, very close. I'm not sure how much further she's able to go. 1 attempt remaining. I don't imagine we're going to see more than a couple of kilos increase.
So Olga Tay of Russia has 2 attempts left. Chakunte of France has just the 1, and Kostova as well. So Chakunte now 97 kilos. So it's a 2-kilo increase, but this would be a personal best for her. And remember, as Michaela, as you said, you know, these women have been off a competition stage for more than a year. Some of them have been able to train in a gym. Most of them have not. But the circumstances have been difficult. So they come into this competition with a measure of uncertainty. So Chakunte stays at the moment in the silver medal position. And it's Olga Tay and Bojanka Kostova, Azerbaijan and Russia, to lift it out here in the snatch phase of the women's 59 kilos.
Just doesn't slow down, overhead, sits back on the bar. It's the first few inches she loses that lift. The bar swings around her knees. What that means is the lifter's opening up at the hip rather than driving with the legs.
So Olga Tay is really in the driving position here because she has 2 attempts, so effectively inviting, or obliging, I should say, Kostova to come out and take her final attempt. Now, you were questioning. Well, it wasn't in the head, let alone in the arms and the legs. And she's stuck there on 95. That means that Olga Tay has won the snatch competition. Michaela?
Well, people that follow me on social media know my motto, hashtag it's not a pull. I mean, pulling the bar up is just going to take the speed off it. It just doesn't give you time to get under, but her head was never in it.
Okay. This to enhance her lead.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah,
Ooh.
Exactly.
Keeps it interesting, keeps it close.
Yeah. A sigh of relief from everybody backstage in the warm-up room.
Definitely, they're going to be nervous.
One more attempt.
This is so close, and the starting weights are so close on the clean and jerk. Everybody, well, the coaches anyway, backstage will be watching anxiously. She sits back on the bar as it gets to mid-thigh, and that's what causes her to leave the bar out in front. She needs more commitment, more self-belief here. It's a weight she's clearly strong enough for. Hopefully that frustration will fire her up, and the firing up needs to come from the belly. It needs to come from within. These lifters look very calm and very composed, but when they step foot onto that platform, in that split second when the bar passes their knees, it is literally a split second of pure explosion. And it's got to come from
like
the powerful muscles, the quads and the glutes.
For someone like Zoe Smith at the moment, who finished on 89 kilos, she's within 6 kilos of the 3 women who at the moment have all got 95 kilos. So that'll be something of a relief to her. And it does mean that she'll feel that she's got a real fighting chance when it comes to the clean and jerk. But a lot depends on the destiny of this championship as to what Olga Tay does right here, right now. So, stays on 98 kilos. This for a 3 kilo advantage going into the second half of the championship.
No, it's gone. Well, this keeps the competition very much alive for all of the lifters. That is a very disappointing snatch phase for Russia and Olga Tay. She's not going to be happy with this. Very disappointing. Look at that, shoulders too far forwards at the start, leans back at the end.
Well, as you say, Michaela, a lot of failures, particularly on the third attempts, but it's kept this as a very competitive championship. And you look at that, and actually that caption is wrong, because Olga Tay got to 95 kilos first. So apologies for that, but that isn't correct.
Yeah, they got the order wrong.
Olga Tay in gold. Chakunte is the silver medalist, and Kostova is the bronze medalist. And that is an incorrect graphic. They have not kept to the rule that whoever gets to the highest weight first gets the higher ranking position.
Well, that'll be amended shortly.
So we'll try and correct that for you.
Yeah, the scoreboard is correct. In venue, it shows that Russia take the lead.
So we're going to take a little break. And the situation backstage. Very tight affair if you're just joining us. I'm David Goldstrom together with Michaela Breeze. And quite a lot of failures in that first part of the competition. 10 and out of 24, so hopefully the clean and jerk will see a more successful phase. Now, just to remind you, the situation, Olga Tay of Russia leads. She got the gold medal in the first half, having reached 95 kilos first. Dora Chakunte on the same weight. And also Boyanka Kostova, who incidentally was disqualified after the London 2012 games on retesting, but lies in third place here representing Azerbaijan. Sara Retulainen opening the clean and jerk. Good lift.
Very strong opening attempt from Retulainen. 2 successful attempts on the snatch. She now has a solid total and will take that forwards. Hopefully a bit more relaxed going further in the competition. Seems like the warm-up went well. She originally posted 103 and has actually come out at 105. Good drive to arm's length, nice and solid. We'll specify the arms must go to lock and stay there, and they clearly do. Got a couple of suspect decisions from the snatch with the refereeing, but at least the refereeing was consistent.
Yeah, Sara Retulainen, some of you may be more familiar with her original name before she got married, Leskinen. And she's represented Finland for quite a while now. Very much a 63 kilo lifter, so 59 kilos. At the moment, looking pretty comfortable at this weight category. Yeah, she looks like she hasn't had to cut too crazy. I mean, when some lifters cut weight, they're stupidly lean with not an ounce of fat on. I'm not saying she's carrying any, but she's definitely looking comfortable. And if it's done over time and gradually and with
with good advice, then you can absolutely maintain strength coming down a category as well.
So apologies for not being able to give you that correct graphic for the snatch. Apparently there's some electronic problems which they're trying to resolve at the moment. So Lettinainen, good start. Can she continue in a good way? Well, slightly predictable that it would be a bit harder, but it's a good clean. Feet still. And she's really enjoying herself out there, Michaela.
She's on fire, and you know the clean was hard. We don't expect lifters to stand easily at this kind of level. You expect it to be tough to get out of that hole. She stands well, and watch as she stands out of the clean. She adjusts her hand position to make them a bit wider. She does this because it's then less distance for the bar to travel overhead on the jerk. The jerk is nice and straight, dips straight, explosive drive, and catches at arm's length. Very, very good.
Opening attempt here for Han Hua. Well, that was 2 kilos down on what she originally posted.
Same kind of story from the snatch as well. She posted 88, I think she came down a kilo there. So something I'm guessing has not gone quite to plan in the warm-up. Maybe missed her last warm-up lift, so the coaches are playing it safe to get one in on the scoreboard. That's a power jerk. Drives and splits the feet out to the side rather than forwards and back. You can do either. As long as the bar goes to arm's length in one continuous movement, you're fine.
There in the foreground is this former Olympic champion, Sigmund. That's quite amazing, isn't it, Michaela? 80 years of age, been around the world, Olympic gold medalist, and huge respect in Norway for him. Well, huge respect in the world of weightlifting.
I was going to say huge respect pretty much everywhere he goes. He seems to be a very sought-after coach and has an impact wherever he goes. So, yeah, he's worked for numerous national teams and is not adverse to travelling. Fair to say weightlifting is his life. Boy.
Well, saves the lift and gets her opener, does Ina Anderson. 110 kilos. Really interesting. I mentioned in the first half, Michaela, that Sten Grimseth, president of the Norwegian Federation, looking for more than 115 from her to get a new personal best.
Gonna be have to pull something out of the bag here, because that was not overly convincing. Big side step to the left as she stood with the clean, so off balance. Back leg was straight on the jerk as well. Needs to make a couple of corrections.
This is Dora Chakunte in second place at the halfway stage with 95 kilos. Chakunte, 114 kilos would be her PB. Strong overhead.
Yeah, a couple of side steps, just making sure she's under control. The rules specify the lifter's feet must be in line before they're given the down signal. That's the reason there was hesitation before that happened. Very composed, very focused, taking her time, good extension. Drops the chest a little, which causes the step forwards. Hips are behind the bar a fraction. Manages to get them back underneath in the overhead position. Ideally, the bar should be over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Nicely in the competition with a total. Now let's see what she can do.
Yeah, 205. And interestingly, she posted originally her opening attempt at 105, came in at 110. So that again is an indication that things are going in the right direction. And I could easily see her having an attempt at a new personal best. And, you know, she's right amongst the medals given those failures in the first part of the competition. So Russia, this is the bronze medalist of a couple of years ago, Alexandra Koslova. Fourth at the halfway stage with 91 kilos.
Россия. Первая попытка.
Восьмой.
Which number?
Which number?
Three.
English is the universal language. There's a scrap here. Oh, the coach, the buzzer went, David. They're saying, no, your time's up. Oh, there's been a big mistake here from the Russian coaches, a big mistake. If I'm right in what I'm seeing,
they've lost 110.
Yeah, when the lifter is called, the coaches have to change a weight before the clock runs 30 seconds. Otherwise, they're out of time, and a lifter has been timed out, I believe. Yes, Olga T, 110 is what was called. They went to change the weight, didn't get there in time. She's just been failed without even given the opportunity, and that is our gold medalist after the snatch. So this is interesting.
Well, it really does open things up, doesn't it? And here is Sara Retulainen. So far, so good. She's got 4 out of 5 at the moment, and this is a good little sequence for her. 110 kilos on the bar for her third and final attempt. It's not quite a personal best, but she's got her own targets. Well, it's a pity it leaves her on 198 as a total.
You can see here, very difficult to see from this angle, but the back leg was straight, hips behind the bar, and compensating in the shoulders, hence why bar lost behind.
So Olga Tay under real pressure now. Effectively, this is her second clean and jerk. Well, she did what she had to do, really, Mikhaila, which was to come out and take that 110. She couldn't really do anything else.
She's fuming inside, David, absolutely fuming with the coaches. They completely screwed up. They threw away her first attempt, and it is so infuriating as an athlete when a coach makes such a mistake. When the lifter puts all the time, all the graft into months and months, years of training, and the coach loses concentration, is totally unacceptable. Sack the coach is what I say. Be
That's
held
the result, you
accountable.
see. That's the result, Mikhaila. You see, she's gone to 205, but she's used 2 of her clean and jerk lives, whereas someone like Chakunte is on 205, was equal at the halfway stage on kilos, but has got that extra attempt at her disposal.
It's leveled out the competition even further now. Very interesting. She's got 1 attempt remaining as Olga Tay of Russia. Let's see if she can maintain the lead.
Now, Kostova posted 105 for her opener, but as you've just seen, she's gone up. So obviously her warm-up seems to have gone well. And that was easy. Well, she's very much a player, and we always thought she would be, Michaela.
She is. David, what do you have down as her best clean and jerk?
I'll tell you in 1
2 seconds. Sorry, catch you off guard there. But 111.
No,
I mean,
well, if you
go
wind
on.
the clock back,
Yeah,
124.
right, there we go. There's the evidence. This to me is an athlete that is now playing a level playing field and playing on a clean basis. That's the difference between a lifter that abuses and a lifter that comes off. So having served her suspension is now way down on previous best performances.
206, she takes the overall lead. Now Zoe, 3 attempts at her disposal. She needs every single one of these.
That's good. She's good. No, she's good. Her elbow lock is not great. Just smile, Zoe. For goodness sake, smile at the referees. Oh, get away. Is my judging becoming very biased?
Well, I didn't think it was lift,
No.
and that's why I sort of hummed.
Let's take a look here. I think her elbows, she's always had a dodgy elbow lock. I didn't see any movement in them.
I did
That's
on the
fine.
right.
Nah, I think that's a soft elbow lock. That's all it is. Well, in fairness, it leveled it out from the snatch. She was lucky to get one of the snatches.
Now, Koslova, the other Russian, at 111 kilos. That's 111 to add to the 91. She was in 4th place at the halfway stage. But of course that brings her over 200 kilos to 202 and brings her back into the competition.
Certainly does. That's a really good jerk. Stabilizes before recovering. It's a sign of experience right there.
Well, this has to be right. I've not seen that much fire about her, to be honest, Michaela.
It will come. Come on, Zoe. That's better, more aggressive, yeah, much better. An anxious look to the scoreboard there just to check she's got the white lights, but that's Zoe in the competition with a total. 1 attempt remaining. How much further can she go? Where are they going to push this bar to? See, just more aggressive, stands up this time with a bit of fire in the belly. A much more solid, dynamic overhead.
I wonder, do they dare gamble with Zoe? I mean, you know, at her best, she can be over 120 kilos in a clean and jerk.
I don't think she's in that kind of shape right now, but oh, do you know what? I don't know where they're going to go next attempt.
No lift.
Подъем не засчитан.
112 kilograms, please.
Установить
So,
112 килограммов.
2 failures there, 110 and 111. Pretty costly there for Retulainen.
Азербайджан, вторая попытка.
Goes up, 130, please.
Перезаявка. Установить 113 килограммов.
Anderson, Norway.
Take a look here. Clean hitter hard at the bottom, managed to stand and recover.
Zoe Smith, please prepare.
Zoe Smith готовится.
Dips on one leg. She drifted sideways as she dipped. Probably, maybe, possibly compensating for a niggle or an injury.
Second stepping stone, 113 kilos for Ina Anderson. She was in the B final a couple of years ago. If she gets this, Takes her to 201, a kilo ahead of Zoe. And that was better than the first one.
Yeah, that was nice. Very sweet.
Защита.
No mistaking positions there. And this is great to see when a lifter is technically competent. They know where the bar's going. The only thing that changes is the effort as they approach the bar. Great extension, more importantly, good speed transitioning underneath the bar. Short dip, explosive drive, back leg a little straight, pulls the hips behind the bar slightly. It's very solid in the overhead position.
Вес штанги 113 килограммов. Мария Гангур, Украина, вторая попытка.
Zoe Smith.
The Ukraine.
Zoe
So
Smith,
Maria Hanhur. So this is 113 for her.
Время есть время. Продави ножками. Пошли, пошли, пошли. Спину держим, держим.
No.
There's a lot of lifters losing their opportunities here.
Yeah, an interesting lift we've just seen there. Let's see the replay, but you see her come out of the clean, doesn't pause. So she literally comes up, sets and goes. And what she's doing is using the natural oscillation on the bar there. The bar's oscillating as she goes for it, but it's not considered deliberate oscillation. It's natural oscillation, and that's if you can time that right, you can benefit from the whip on the bar. But you've got to maintain position.
Well, I think this is really interesting. Dora Chakunte of France waiting in the wings. I think she's got a real chance of an overall medal. And that would be very good for the French, of course, who've yet to appear on the medal table. Of course, having got a medal in the first part, she's already there. Now, Olga Tay.
Yeah, she's dropped the bar down to 95 kilos there. It's just popping in an extra warm-up weight just to keep the body ticking over, to keep the legs firing. So clearly there's quite a weight between her, well, I say her first and her second attempt. It's actually going to be her second and third attempt. So she's just keeping the legs warm, keeping the body ticking over.
Пошли, пошли, пошли. И работай.
No lift.
Подъем.
Well, it's quite amazing. These competitions do happen, Michaela, but, you know, there's a lot of lifters who've never really got to grip with this competition. And there's another one, Hanhur, left on a total of 197.
Yeah,
Way below.
The reason most lifters do the split jerk is because there's a little bit of room for error, and you can drop your body quite a lot lower underneath the bar. Right, come on, Zoe. Zoe Smith, 114, third and final attempt. Needs this.
Not for me.
I don't think there was a press out. It wasn't a great jerk. It was soft. Let's have a look. Referees are in agreement with you, David.
Установить 115 килограммов.
This has not been, sadly, a good day at the office for Zoe. We'd hoped for much better, but it didn't get off to a good start, and it hasn't ended well either.
Военка Костова, Азербайджан, готовится.
I don't know. I'm looking at that, thinking that's Zoe's soft elbows. I don't know why she hasn't come out and said to the referees, "Look, I've got a rubbish elbow lock," as a lot of lifters commonly do. It wasn't the best jerk, that's for sure.
Now, Dora Chakunte.
Solide pas. On est méchant, Dodo.
No.
No lift.
Подъем не засчитан.
115 kilograms without change. Bojanka Kostova.
Disappointment written all over her face. She's still got one attempt remaining. It's a big jump, 110 to 115. It's a lift she clearly feels she's capable of. The clean it caught her on her heels, did well to work through the sticking point. But the drive, you've got to get both arms locking.
Россия, третья попытка.
Left arm just buckled on her.
Подъем не засчитан. Александра Козлова готовится.
115 kilograms without change. Bojanka Kostova, Azerbaijan. Second attempt.
К этому же весу 115 килограмм.
So Chakunte at the moment stuck on 205, but so is Olga Tay. And this is the last throw of her particular dice. 115 kilos. So a 5 kilo increase to take her to 210 kilos.
Сильно, прямо! Держи, держи, стой!
Well, will that be good enough to win the overall title? We'll know very shortly. What is interesting, Michaela, is that this title was won 2 years ago by Rebecca Koha with a total of 221.
115 килограммов.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say the standards this year are way down. I mean, well, goodness me, when I was competing at 58, I mean, I did a 120 at 58 body weight, and that wasn't even good enough for a medal in 2004. So there's definitely a drop in standard. It's very competitive. All the lifters are very, very close. And right now, we still have no clue where the medals are going.
Kozlova has crept into contention by making lifts where others have failed.
Oh, what a shame.
And that was a golden opportunity.
No lift.
Подъем не засчитан.
115 without change. Chakunte down.
That would have taken her to 206 and pretty well assured her of being on the overall medal podium, but not to be. It's not over yet.
Kostova is next lifter.
Боянка Костова готовится.
Just that frustration, isn't it? You think you've got it. No, it's gone. All the training, all the hard work, many, many hours in the gym, thousands upon thousands of repetitions. And when it doesn't come off, it's desperately disappointing. She's smiling,
she's
but I tell you,
smiling.
she's
I was
not
gonna
happy.
say.
She's not happy. coaches have messed her over there, and you know, the coaches threw away the opening lift. She's just got to sit and wait. There's nothing more she can do.
So Chakunte coming out, and of course, this would level her up with Olga Tay, who's sitting on 210, but Tay's there first.
It's better. Can she steady herself?
Come
Got
on. Yeah.
Good lift.
Подъем
Really good
засчитан.
fight there to keep the lift alive from Dora Chakunte, who finished 7th in this category 2 years ago in Georgia in Batumi.
Bojanka Kostova, Azerbaijan. Second attempt.
Боянка Костова, Азербайджан, вторая попытка.
So
Works
Ina Andersson.
works hard to stand with a clean. Look at this nice straight dip.
Готовится.
Oh, it's an ugly jerk. Hips are way behind the bar, lower back rounded, but she does well to recover. This is for the lead, isn't it?
it will be.
No, 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 no. It's got to be driving more than that.
No lift.
Подъем не
And remember,
засчитан.
Kostova was on 95 kilos, and she took 111, so she was going up to 206. So this lift with the extra kilos would have made a 4 kilo difference, would have put her up to 210, but not to be.
No, and on this kind of weight here, you can't be catching it at arm's length with the legs straight. For goodness sakes, you've got to drop underneath.
So, Ina Anderson going, as I mentioned, right at the beginning of the competition. Now, this is for a personal, big best. This is what Stephen Grimseth was hoping that she could pull off. Quietly waiting her turn. Here we go. Come on, stand up. Good.
Oh, steady, it's there, it's there.
Amazing, amazing. Well done to Ina Anderson of Norway.
Somehow kept the arms locked. Forget the footwork. That's, oh, get away. You have got to be kidding me.
Oh, come on.
No, the elbows did not come out of lock.
Let's see that from the front. That is not correct, surely. Where's the jury?
I was watching. I
Have a
thought
look at
the
this.
arms. Right, elbows is what we need to see. Klima's fine, nothing wrong with that. Ignore the footwork, that's irrelevant. It's the elbows. They're good. Oh, yeah, okay.
There was a press out?
There was, yeah, there was a tweak.
Yeah.
In the excitement, David, we so wanted her to get that.
Yeah. Fair play. We were wrong. They were right on this occasion. So, Boyanka Kostova out for 116 kilos. This for the championship.
It's a push press.
But it's there. And it takes her to 211 kilos. 1 kilo ahead of Olga Tay, ahead of Dora Chakunte, and the lifter from Azerbaijan, the most experienced lifter in terms of the whole competition, has ended up on top, and she won the world title back in 2015. She's now European senior champion at 59 kilos.
Just a shame she has a tarnished reputation behind her. Let's hope she is clean now and that she's playing on a level playing field. The thing I've got is that she's already had those unfair advantages getting to those weights originally. Muscle memory counts for a lot in this game, but she is the champion.
Just to put this into context for you, Michaela, because you've talked about this quite a bit. She won the European Championships in 2016 at the 58 kilo category, and her totaled up 235. Today, 211.
Let's let the viewers make their judgment on that. To be honest, I'd say lucky to be winning a gold on these kind of weights, but this lifter robbed by her own coaches. I mean, not given the opportunity to fight for gold. Huge coaching error, and I hope that coaches around the world are watching this and thinking, don't let that happen to me. Unfortunately, it happens far too often. I don't suspect in the Russian system that she has the ability to voice her frustrations, so we'll voice them for her.
Yeah, it's something that really shouldn't happen. You know, and the Russians have got plenty of staff. I mean, there are separate coaches for the two lifters, so there's no excuse for a lack of concentration.
David, I say this time and time again, and it's happened to me. It's happened to me so many times that I always used to watch the scoreboard myself because I didn't trust the coaches, and I was quite right not to trust them. Now, that's a generalization, but the coaches should spend time training. At this kind of level, if you're expected to put in the performance as a coach, you've got to practice. And I have never, ever in my career seen coaches go through and drill and say, well, what would you do in this situation? How long do you think your lifter's got? I have never, ever seen that happen. And that I find still unbelievable.
So overall, quite a messy affair, really. Disappointing for Zoe and disappointing for us, but hopefully better things will come. I mean, when you look at Zoe's stats, only 3 lifts out of 6. But then this woman, who has taken the title, only made 4. Nobody got a clean sheet, so to speak. Nobody lifted 6 out of 6. Olga Tay only made 3, but then we've made an excuse because one of those losses was unfair, so effectively she got 3 out of 5. Chakunte of France, 4 out of 6. Kostova, as I said, 4 out of 6. And the other Russian lifter, Alexandra Koslova, who had a chance, 4 out of 6 as well. So for Chakunte, 12th in the World Championships 2 years ago, 7th in Europe. A very nice afternoon. I think she's probably the woman who can take the most out of this competition in a funny sort of way. Now, those are the snatch results that you're seeing there. Unfortunately, the director didn't see fit to leave them up. I couldn't really tell if they're being correctly corrected, Michaela, could you?
No, didn't see.
Just too quick. So there's been a few mechanical problems quite clearly with the computerization. Not quite sure what's been going on there, but I just want to tell you as they get ready for the medal ceremonies. Now the overall champion, clearly Boyanka Kostova with a total of 211 kilos. Olga Tay gets the overall silver because she got to 210 ahead of Dora Chakunte of France, who gets the overall bronze. And we'll take you through the individual discipline medals as they're presented.
59 kilograms category at the European Weightlifting Championships, Moscow, Russian Federation.
Well, Michaela, if I'm right, Tay got to 210 before Chakunte, or am I wrong? I'm a bit confused, to be honest. I can't, I'm trying to think because I marked it down, but I can't. I had a feeling
I've
that...
got down Tay got there first.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah, so the scoreboard is correct that I'm looking at. The scoreboard shows Olga Tay at 1:15 in first place.
Yeah. So, but we're talking about the overall medals.
Yeah, I've still got down Olga Tay 210 first. She got there.
So this is correct that Chakunte is the bronze medalist.
Yeah, she has the lower lot number, so she would have been
that graphic
first
was
on the
wrong.
clean and jerk.
I must apologise to you all at home. I'm really, really sorry about this. There's obviously something which will get corrected before our next final. But congratulations to Dora Chakunte. She took the silver medal in the snatch phase and a silver medal in the clean and jerk and an overall bronze medal. Major medals for her. For Olga Tay, well, a really frustrating day at the office. Took the gold medal in the snatch and the gold medal in the clean and jerk, but ultimately ends up as only the overall silver medalist.
The European champion with result 211 is Boyanka Kostova, representing Azerbaijan.
And it's Boyanka Kostova, who was on the same number of kilos as Olga Tay in the first half of the competition, 95 kilos, but 211, that extra kilo in the final clean and jerk attempt, earning her the Championship of Europe at 59 kilos with a total of 211 kilos.
To honor the winner's flags and the national anthem of Azerbaijan. Pozdravляю jeszcze raz. Gratuluję Szymon Sergej.
Well, those are the overall medals. A word on Zoe. We hoped for much more, didn't we, Michaela?
I think it's fair to say, yeah, with too many mislifts there, she would have wanted more. Coaches would have wanted more. I